Well, he's been round there and he's won a Supreme Novice Hurdle, which does help. But I mean, and to be fair, he's jumping and everything's been so good so far this year. He was brilliant in the game spirit. He's got pace, he's got a cruising speed, and touchwood, his jumping has been, around Newbury the other day, was very, very good. Yes, that's the idea. I don't see why not. I mean, he's come through, he's done everything right. I think his future is over fences. But, you know, he's done everything right. He deserved a shot at it. He's tough, he's a hardy horse, and I think Cheltenham will suit him better than Doncaster did, because that was just quick enough ground for him that day. Cheltenham and probably easier ground is going to bring his stamina into play a lot more. It'll help him. He does. I like the idea of it too. I mean, the stumbling block there is definitely going to be Undisser. If it's soft ground, Undisser will win, because Jos's Hill won't like it anyway, nor will Vanita. Now, Vanita does come into this race, and I think very seriously comes into it, especially if it's good ground. But the crux of the good ground is if you want good ground, Undisser must not have good ground. He hates it. So the quicker the ground, the better we're going to be. Now you say Jos's Hill, Joss Hill and Vanita, I'm lucky I can sit on two now. I just have a sneaky feeling Vanita's in very good form. Well, I think you just need a horse that they've got to stay. They've got to keep galloping. There's him and Beware the Bear. I don't know about him yet, but Premier Bond definitely is his objective. He's won his last two. He's been solid and he jumps. He's not very fast. I mean, he needs 4 miles. There aren't many of them that do. Again, it's not a race we find a lot of horses for, but yeah, he's the right type for it anyway. Dom Perignon, certainly. I like the idea a lot. 133, I think that's a good mark to come off. I do like Divine Bear. He's just a bit higher. 137 historically is pretty high for this, but he's a pretty talented horse. I suppose we might just think about the Triumph and see what happens and see which way some of them go, like Charlie Parks. But those two, the Fred Winter is a race I would be sort of looking forward to with the pair of them. Now, which one? I do like Dom Perignon, yeah. I think maybe he's better at the weights, but bit of a toss-up. He does, and nobody could quite decide or tell me which race to run him in, so I'm having to think about it at the moment. I mean, my first reaction when he won at Newbury was Barry said he didn't want any more than 2 miles, did therefore ran him over 2 mile 3 just to be naughty. Looked as if he needed it, but then he ran very keen in the race as well. It looked as if he wanted 2 miles. I'm not sure. If it was soft ground, I'd say he'd go 2 miles. If it was better, maybe we do go 2.5. We'll just probably look at both races, but he's a very talented horse. He's been extraordinary, hasn't he? Because he was the most lovely, solid, consistent hurdler, and he was in the Stan James Fighting 5th. He's been Stan James Champion Hurdle 5th, won the Moore Battle Hurdle. You know, he's knocking on the door, but he wasn't quite top class. When we switched to fences, only a little horse, and I thought, well, if we could just go up and down the country and win a couple of little novice chases, he'll win races and then probably come back for the champion. But he's just grown in stature all the way through this, and his performance in the Scilly Isles was exemplary, and so I think he really does come in here with a great chance, and soft ground wouldn't worry him, and he's such a fighter. You love it. Good battle. I do. He looks like a racehorse. They're all meant to be racehorses, but this is like he's like going into the car showroom and finding a Ferrari. He's got it all. He's got the pace, he's got the looks, his hurdling technique it's like a proper hurdler. It's quick, it's sharp, I think on the Kempton race, I mean, the performance he was putting up that day was going to be quite extraordinary, because not only was he going to win the Feltham comfortably, he was actually going to do it in a faster time than Thistlecrack took, to win the King George, and that is a mighty piece of statistic that even I find hard to fathom, but apparently it's true. And if you take that literally, he's got to transfer Kempton to Cheltenham. I mean, I think that's his problem. Not so much his jumping, but it's a different game around there. But he's in great form. But Ted's in great form. I mean, it's his third Stan James Champion hurdle. He's been second twice, and it'd be great to see him win one, wouldn't it? It's his sort of race. He loves those really fast run races, come off a cracking pace. I hope there is a good pace, but he's in good form. He's come on a fair bit recently. Brainpower's been very good. The one thing he hasn't had is the interim from a handicap to a Group 1. But he's been so good in those handicaps. They've been big weights, big fields, and he just travels very powerfully through his races. He's a very powerful, strong horse. Well, we had a very, very open year. It's not so much as what he's done this year, I suspect, in that he's won 2 chases, and then we moved back and he won the Contenders Hurdle very easily at Sandown, which you'd probably say he should have done. But I think where you can go back to his hurdle form can be shown to be top class, in that he was a very good third in the Supreme behind Altior, and then went to Aintree and beat Petit Mouchoir. I think therein you got the best of his sort of 2-mile hurdle form. He'd be better around Cheltenham than he would be around Aintree anyway. And he's very slick. He jumps like he was jumping fences like a hurdler, but he jumps